is Ghetto, Monday, August 4th, 2025. Good morning, folks. It's Monday, August 4th, 2025. A fresh start, a clean slate, and another chance to get it right. Whatever last week tried to throw at you, disappointment, distractions, or doubt, leave it where it landed. This week is yours to define. Show up, stay focused, and remember, you've survived 100% of your worst days. That's not luck. That's strength. You don't need perfect conditions to move forward. You just need to decide you're not quitting today. Let's get into it, because Earth is still ghetto, and we're still here.
What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Yes, we are still here. How was your weekend? My weekend was pretty good. Had a really busy week last week, so I really didn't do too much of nothing. Went out to dinner with my husband, went to the gym, cleaned my house, of course. And watched Final Destination, the newest one. It was just straight gory. It had literally, the plot was so stupid, but the gore was just, I'm glad I didn't go see it at the movies. Watched a Lifetime movie. Haven't watched a Lifetime movie in a minute. Yeah, just chilled, y'all. Something I love to do. So did that, and it was nice. Hopefully this week goes by fast and we can get into the weekend and I could try it again. It's been cool here, so I haven't been able to get in my pool, which is kind of sad, but I know it'll get hot again. I am happy that I have been saving on my electric bill, so that's a plus. But yeah, I do miss being able to get in the pool, even though last week was extremely busy and I really didn't get a chance to. I know I didn't like anything on the news, so let's get into this other stuff. Let's see what we got. You're offered $20 million, but you have to be chased by one animal for 24 hours. Which animal is it? A freaking turtle. A turtle, duh. A Texas father unalived his adopted son for eating his donut sticks. First of all, donut sticks are not even good. Like, you stop liking them as a child, and unless he just wanted some snacks, it's just really sad. Baby born from an embryo frozen over 30 years ago. Michelle Obama says watching ESPN for an hour is like watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Stephen A. Smith, I guess he didn't like that she said that, but who cares what Stephen A. Smith likes. Canceling a date because he can't afford to buy you a dress is valid. Why? Is it the first date? Because what if you never want to go out with him again? So Gilly the Kid and Johnny Manziel was going back and forth this weekend on Twitter about, I guess Gilly said something about Cam Newton. And Johnny said, yo, Gilly, you may be the biggest effing loser on the planet talking like you've effing done anything on a football field. If I see you, just know I'm going to slap the F out of you, trust. Is this like one of them celebrity boxing matches things? He said, take Jalen's D out of your mouth. That's Jalen Hurts. For a couple of minutes. Pretty sure he's already got a chick. Can't wait for this response. Just set up the rough rowdy and let's call it a day. I love $1 million worth of game, but that's the corniest stuff I've ever seen in my life. And then this was Gilly's response.
Johnny, out of all the motherfuckers you could fuck with, Johnny, what the fuck would make you stop at me, man? Huh? What would make you stop at that bus stop and fuck with me, Johnny? I know what it was. I know exactly what it was. Ain't no secret. You had an 8-ball of that shit, Johnny. I figured by now that shit would have wore off, right? Johnny, what the fuck would make you get up and just say, you gonna slap me? Out of all the motherfuckers on planet Earth, Johnny, you gonna slap me? It had to be this shit right here, Johnny. Because it ain't 1917 no more, Johnny. This is 2025. Niggas fight back, Johnny. The fuck make you think you just gonna slap a nigga and then what you just gonna do? You just gonna walk off about your business, Johnny, and just ain't nothing. Come on, Johnny. Out of all of nothing gonna happen, Johnny. No, we gonna have to put on a bet nap, Johnny, to over and under for how many fucking days you gonna lay in the hospital. And I'm taking 13 and a half days. I'm taking the fucking over, Johnny. Now let me tell you something, Johnny. I need you to check in the AA, Alcohol Anonymous, and I need you to check the fuck out of AAB, African American Business, Johnny. This shit ain't had nothing to do with you. Sit your dumb ass down somewhere. You hear me? Now Cam said what he said about jailing. I told Cam he did something you couldn't do with a Super Bowl, and then Cam, big, goofy, extra sensitive ass, started talking personal shit. So you and Cam could both sit y'all super goofy asses down some fucking where. You fucking cocaine Johnny and big fucking sensitive. You big sassy ass nigga, sit your dumb ass down somewhere, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but nothing gonna happen.
I don't know. Michelle Obama might be right. These men is acting like Real Housewives. This is This is giving me Real Housewives. So Trump goes off on racist sleazeback Charlemagne the God. He says the very wonderful and talented Laura Trump, whose show is big rating success, put racist sleazeback Charlemagne the God. Why is he allowed to use the word God when describing himself? Can anyone imagine the uproar there would be if I used that nickname? He's a low IQ individual, has had no idea what the words are coming out of his mouth, and knows nothing about me or what I've done. Like just ending 5 wars, including 31-year bloodbath between Republic of Congo and Rwanda, where 7 million people have passed away and there was no end in sight. He didn't know that. Or India or Pakistan are wiping out Iran's nuclear capabilities, or closing the horrendous open border, or creating the greatest economy where prices and inflation have come way down, and where the stupid and corrupt Joe Biden set the record for doing the worst job as president ever. But this dope, Charlemagne, would vote for Sleepy Joe or Kamala. Remember 1 year ago our country was not here? Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. MAGA. The whole thing is hilarious. Soldier Boy was arrested in Melrose on suspected weapons charge. Cardi B and Stefan Diggs were going back and forth on the gram. He said he was going to sniff her BBL. Michael Ealy's birthday was yesterday. 50 Cent said, can you believe that Diddy thought Trump was going to pardon him? He thought he was getting pardoned. No, sir, you are not. You said very nasty things. You know 50 Cent called Trump like, don't pardon him. I guarantee you he probably did. Hotel employee accused of making a makeshift device to access a teen's room. I feel like I saw this before. Like, I don't feel like this is a new video, but put them dad bolts on, y'all. A woman embraces the new trend of cheek dimple enhancements. People still doing that? K9 gets loose and attacked a random person during a funeral for a fallen officer. That's messed up. Heck nah. That guy was like, that dog was not letting up. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. Actor Faison Love facing felony assault charges after allegedly attacking a hotel employee with a credit card reader. Faison, why did you do that? My girl Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested at a Seattle airport over alleged domestic violence incident. I just feel like she innocent. You're offered $100,000 to recite 90% of a movie. What movie are you choosing? Definitely Color Purple. I know every line of that movie. President Trump fires Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner after weak jobs report. Teacher who admits to fatally attacking a couple on a hike with their kids in a random attack. He admits to it. But if you've seen this guy on a trail, Busta Rhymes has officially been honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and a lot of people were saying that they thought he was Charlie Wilson, which ain't right to say that, but he was there. Bust the bus. New species of a giant stick insect discovered in, of course, Australia, a place I'll never go. A Russian woman was beaten in a viral Cincinnati brawl, returns home as attacker's family claims her race is driving national outrage. Not sure what that meant. A video shows the moment a toddler was abducted from a Virginia mall. Now, where were her parents at? This little toddler's just by herself. So according to reports, a newly released video shows a toddler being abducted at Fair Oaks Mall on July 18th. Police say 26-year-old Andres Caceres picked up the girl after she wandered from a play area. Her parents quickly found and rescued her. Jordan fled but was arrested at a nearby hotel where a stolen car was recovered. He's charged with abduction, grand larceny, and is being held without bond. But why was the parents allowed her to walk that far? I'm confused on that. Trump says he moved 2 nuclear submarines after Russia's Medvedev warns us. MGK says he declined the Sinners audition due to the N-word in the script, which a lot of people were saying nobody said the N-word in that script as far as people that were not of color. There's rumors saying that Chad Ochocinco could potentially replace Shannon Sharpe on ESPN's First Take. Which would be crazy. Kim Kardashian's bought her kids some new bling after they lost their teeth. Rich people stuff, man. Stephen A. Smith responds after Michelle Obama mentions his name. He didn't appreciate it. I'm not going to play it because I am not actually a fan of Stephen A. Smith at all. Diddy's ex Gina writes a letter to the judge urging for his release. She says, "I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or the community." The Game's son is getting older. A preliminary magnitude 3.0 earthquake with the epicenter northeast of Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, rattled the New York City area Saturday night. Alright, let's see what else we got, y'all. Vegas ain't hitting like it used to. Tourists tap out over high prices and Trump's America vibes. They said that the tourism is down in Vegas. It's dropped 11% since June. I honestly, like, Vegas is like literally a place you only need to stay maybe 2 days. Is after day 2, it's like, what else is there to do? If they had an ocean there, it'd be more cool, but it's just kind of, eh. IHOP is giving away free Dubai chocolate pancakes covered in gold. Just sound like you will have a bellyache after that. Procter & Gamble is going to raise the price on Tide and Charmin due to tariffs. Google exposed private chat GPT conversations and search results. Are you living for others' approvals or standing in your own power? Definitely standing in my own power, man. Jeanine Pirro confirmed as U.S. Attorney for D.C. in a tight Senate vote. Chris Brown's little statue man is melting. A lot of people were complaining about that statue because it was in their way on the view. But it's melting. Cowboy owner Jerry Jones called out by Des Bryant and Rock Nation over false contract claims. We can have a story time if that's what we're doing. In 2015, at the 21 Club on a napkin, Jerry Jones, Juan Perez, Sean Jay-Z Carter, and Stefan Jones negotiated a 5-year, $70 million deal, which included a $45 million guarantee and $20 million signing bonus for Des Bryant. At the time, it was the second largest contract for a wide receiver in NFL history. The claim that Mr. Carter or Rock Nation representatives did not return a call from Jerry Jones is not only a false statement, but it's also a comical one. And then Des Bryant said, Jerry Jones don't think it's smart to mention my name. I kept quiet about a lot of unfair stuff. On some G stuff, we can have story time if that's what we're doing. Halle Berry believes being a SMEC symbol makes her the perfect spokesperson for menopause awareness, for someone like me to say, hey, it's smexy to arrive this time of our lives. Listen, Halle is schooling people. A Pittsburgh correctional officer is suspended after racist video surfaced showing him waving a barbed wire bat with "end beater" written on it. That's crazy. Name a villain who was 100% right. Definitely Thanos. Thanos knew what he was doing. Somebody said the lady in Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Killmonger. Carrie. Crazy Carrie. Candyman. Somebody said Terry and Soul Food. The whole Set It Off cast. Yeah, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. The Girl in Us. Saul. Scar in Lion King. Bane. Yeah. Sometimes you look at the villain and you could understand. Seahawks rookie tight end Elijah Ariel's first interview at training camp went viral. He just pretty much said nobody will be able to guard him. I hope he backs up everything he says. Cows produce milk, bees produce honey, women produce babies. What do men produce? Well, the women wouldn't be able to produce the baby without the man. Somebody said headache, stress, strokes, insecurity, high blood pressure, fertilizer. Somebody said these nuts. Yeah, they produce these nuts. If you didn't have them, you wouldn't work. 51-year-old Trick Daddy says he's not attracted to women over 35. Somebody said, have Trick Daddy seen himself in the mirror lately? Trick really do have a lot of nerves saying that. He got a whole lot of nerves. What mispronounced word makes someone sound instantly uneducated to you? Too many. Somebody said salmon, but salmon. Convert is converse, not conversates. Specific, not Pacific. Loved it. Oh, I ain't even seen people say loved it or heard it. That hurted me. Oh, when I hear that. My husband would love this, library. I say library. I know it's a library, but I like to say library. My husband loves teasing me about that. Ambulance, old timers, Alzheimer's, Valentine's, Happy New Year's. Mine's, it is mine. Worcestershire, shrimp. You go to Mississippi, you go McDonald's, street, strawberry. Bro, it's strawberry. Strawberry and Worcester. Yes, Worcester is definitely, it will send me over the edge. After over a decade, James Howells has finally given up his search for the hard drive he accidentally threw away in 2013 that had held 8,000 in Bitcoin. Is now over 950 million. Poor dude. God will restore everything you lost. A Quiet Place 3 will be released July 9th, 2027. We know the movie gonna be the same. Somebody gonna make noise. I don't think it needs to go to theater. How do couples that stay together and doing it raw avoid pregnancy? I'm curious. Some men are just impotent. It's not that deep. Somebody said a real man will never get you pregnant without your consent. 4 years snipped, birth control, timing. Been pregnancy 3 for 9 years. We both are fixed. No pulling out. I'm just talking about in it. Lizzo dropped a new song. Alright, y'all. That's about us. So I'm going to jump into my story times.
I lost over 250 pounds, and this guy who was bi-curious asked me to make a coochie with my loose skin, and I let him hit it. I had to get off my chest, bro.
He just had to tell somebody that, y'all. Somebody said, you couldn't waterboard this out of me. Somebody said, this is my first impression of you. Somebody said, everyone's sexy.
So I'm baby daddy number one, for whatever that's worth. Not really a brag, just more of a title, I guess. My story's not as exciting as Darian's. I didn't put up with all the crazy that Darian put up with. As soon as I saw crazy, I got rid of crazy. I'll try to keep, I guess, the first one relatively short. She started using drugs and going to parties and stuff whenever her and I were still together. Caught her at a birthday party or house party or whatever kind of party with our 4-month-old. She was there for about 10 hours overnight. Got home the next morning drunk, probably high. Tried to take herself off the living list with a butter knife to her stomach with a very shallow horizontal cut. She's supposed to be medicated. Seems she only medicates herself with narcotics and gym. But, we are fixing to wrap up CPS investigation number 4, 5. I'm not sure. We're on 2 investigations from CPS this year alone, which yield 0 results. They send you a piece of paper that says, hey, you made a request to have her investigated for child neglect, and we found sufficient enough evidence to support that. Here's this piece of paper. We're done. They don't really do anything, I guess, or won't do anything. I don't know. But there have been allegations for, neglect. her new boyfriend. I'm sure he's floating around in these comments somewhere underneath a false name so he can hide whatever self-worth he thinks he's got left. Some children that have been in his past have come forward and said that he used to beat them whenever their parents weren't around. So just know that we know, because I'm sure you'll see this video. My daughter made a statement to me one day while we were playing, and that sparked our most recent investigation, and it was in regards to her new boyfriend. But that's just the kind of people that she's got around. The children, you know, we've got proof of drug and alcohol abuse. She comes from a family of drug and alcohol abusers. She comes from a family of domestic abusers. Her parents have bragged on more than one occasion about how they've beat the shit out of each other. Just bad. It's been fun to deal with, you know, for going on 4 years now. So Darian put up with a lot more than I did. I don't have all the exciting videos and things like that he has. I've just dealt with little stuff over the last 3.5 years. You know, stalking my house, threatening me, her parents trying to bully me into doing whatever, telling me that I'm a piece of shit and I need to take responsibility for my kid, but I've had custody since my daughter was 4 months old. She'll be 4. So, yeah, despite what the comments say, I've never beat her or any children, never came up in court. We can see in the videos who's typically the aggressor, but yeah, the first one I'll keep pretty short. I'm sure I'm glossing over some stuff. I'll find new things to release videos about or to talk about. That's pretty much the gist of it. Her brother, Alex Lacoste, works for a major oil company, and he pees in cups for his sister to pass court-ordered and CPS-ordered drug tests. He also pees in a cup for his father-in-law, who is a contractor for major oil field companies out here, so he can pass his drug tests. So Alex and Shailene, we know. Sabrina was kind enough to admit that information to Darian, and we have it on video. So do with that information what you want. Yeah.
So we have no clue who this man is, but people are like, who's Darian? Why am I here? Either way, I'm sad. Somebody said, I'm confused. What did I stumble across at 7 a.m.? This is how nosy I am as well. We'll see what baby Natty number 2 says next.
Guess who just gave their first media interview? Taylor Shabusiness, the woman who was convicted of murder after cutting her boyfriend's head off during intercourse and then left it in a bucket for his poor mother to find. When asked what happened the night of the murder,
I went to buy a bag on the low, so I went to my ex who was a Satan disciple, and family, we all Latin kings, so we beefing, we don't with SDs. I gave him $100 for the bag, and the bag was $50. He pocketed the cash, and then my homie left, and I went to drop off my ex, and he wanted before I left. So I went into the basement, and he went and pulled out 2 chains. I asked him, where my money at, fool? And he said, I ain't got it. So I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth. So I laid down on the bed and to listen to his heartbeat, and I said, damn, this motherfucker's still beating. I went upstairs to grab a kitchen knife. I went back downstairs, took off his pants. I sucked his cut his head off at the same time, because the only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking. Then I chopped his off and concealed the crime. I used a nearby shower drain to pour out the blood and put in bags and boxes around the basement to store the body parts in, and plastic bags for the organs.
when asked why she kept attacking her attorney,
He was calling my and he was saying I need another competency here, and he kept on calling my sticking his tongue out at me. They constantly keep on saying that, and I said, no, I'm straight.
guess who just gave their first
Child, this lady, why should they let her out for some reason?
If my brother had to take dick to save my life, I know I could count on him.
Fuck, you can't, nigga. You dead, nigga.
Dead as a bitch. He'll take dick.
Nigga, let the fuck I win, nigga. Everybody gonna be dead as Bernie Mac.
If my brother had
The comments was like, he looks like he would take extra just to make sure you're safe. He looked like he gonna be pushing back on it. He done already did it just in case. He looked like he could save 3 lives. Nah, why Bernie Mac gotta catch a stray like that? That was hilarious.
If you ain't never had to give a bitch a real good dicking, I mean, like your life depended on it, so you had somewhere to stay? I mean, how you even know if you got good dick? You ain't never had to fuck with some odds, okay? You ain't never been like, God, she better come, I need a shower. You ain't never had to get slutted out for shelter, okay? You ain't never ate some coochie for a Wi-Fi password, okay? You ain't even good, you wet behind the ears, boy. That's what my uncle used to say. A lot of other stuff too, but that's the only one I'm gonna quote. Right now, okay, she just bought me a house, okay? This bitch, she got good credit and stuff, but she brought me home one day, I never left. I'm talking about drop that dick, pop. Y'all boys over here got bitches liking y'all for y'all personality and shit. Whack ass dick gang. Look at you. You useless. You can't even fix nothing, bitch. What you fucking... Ooh, you got anxiety? Pussy.
He said he got slutted out for shelter. Somebody said a hobosexual. That's right. Somebody said she took it over to where there was another burn stop spot in the yard. Is this her first one? On another note, this is how praise dancers be thinking they look when they dance.
Hello, it's like super late, but I couldn't sleep because I'm really hungry, so I made myself a little midnight snack. This is Theodore. I guess he's just like a piece of dough. I sprinkled a little bit of sugar on him too, just to make it a little more sweet. Whoa, I'm not a psychopath though. I didn't just get dough and put sugar on it. If you look closely at Theodore's 2 large cheeks here, I actually injected, like a raspberry jam inside of both of his supple cheeks. This is gonna be a good meal. I guess it's basically just a Pop-Tart, but I don't have any Pop-Tarts. And this one talks to you. I'm just kidding. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. But sometimes I hear him. I'm just kidding. Let's see if he will survive the oven. Don't be scared, Theodore. It's only gonna sting a little bit, alright, buddy? I believe in you, buddy, alright? I believe in... What happened to you? No. Son, I promise to protect you forever. I love you. No. Burnt, bro. Burnt. That bite was kind of good. Oh my god. So the edges are obviously like a little burnt, but the inside, like the middle portion, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, I just ate my son. I'm a monster.
Mm-mm. So that was World Championship Gobble. Somebody said good turnout this year. Somebody said World Championship Gobble is what my husband gets on his birthday. Somebody said, who said white people don't have culture?
Welcome back, guys. It's day 86 of drinking every single day until I get addicted to prove I can quit whenever I want. And we ran into a real problem today because I'm talking to my friends who I made the bet with that I could get addicted and quit before the year is over, right? And we're talking about the terms of the bet because now a lot of people on social media are saying that I am addicted, even though I'm not addicted. I don't think I'm addicted, but everyone's saying I am addicted. I'm saying, and part of the ruling was if a doctor or a therapist or a large group of people that we pull on social media agree that I'm addicted, then that counts, and then I can begin the quitting process, and then I can win the bet. But they're saying I need to prove I can quit whenever I want, and I don't want to. And that is the big wrinkle in this whole entire situation. And they're saying I can't win the bet because of it. So until further notice, until I want to, I can't do it. So now the whole goal is to do something to make me want to quit. And I don't see that happen because I love it. Cheers.
He literally made it to like 141 days, and his wife finally told him, like, dude, you're gonna be done if you don't. So yeah, he's addicted.
Girl, when you found out your husband had 2 kids with your sister, you was fucking devastated. But over the next couple years, you got your life back. So after you end up figuring out and confirming that your husband and your sister had 2 kids together, meaning they had an affair, you divorced your husband, you sold your house, and you moved to Chicago. We're going to fast forward a little bit because over the next couple years, your life was very peaceful. Sean was about 2 years old. You was part owner of that coffee shop that you love so much. And Chicago has just become home to you. You had finally got you a little boo. Yup, the little Curtis from the coffee shop. Y'all worked together. And you found yourself the Curtis house that just so happens to have a peach tree a couple years ago. And you've been there for a while. So you didn't really care to hear anything about your family back home because you had created a new home for you and your baby. But what you did hear is that your ex-husband did do a year in jail. Him and your sister's actually living together now, and they are expecting their third child. But that didn't stop your ex-husband from trying to pursue you in any way that he possibly could. But you weren't going, and your boo wasn't playing about you. So one day, you out for lunch with baby Sean and the cutie from the coffee shop, and you end up getting a phone call from your friend Kiara back home. She ended up telling you that your grandmama was really sick and she was in the hospital. You should hurry and come and see her. You and your grandma had a special kind of relationship because for a few years she raised you and your sister while y'all mama got her life together. She had been sick for a while, and for the last couple of years you had been taking care of all her bills to make sure that she wasn't straight. Although you wasn't at home, you wanted to make sure that your grandmama was okay. So when you hung up the phone with your friend Kiara, you started crying. Your boyfriend asked you, are you okay? Is everything okay? What's going on? You end up telling him no, that your grandmama is very sick and that you need to go home. He says, whatever you need to do, I'm with it. I'm going to go with you. You like, are you sure? You've never met my family before. It's like, well, guess I'm about to meet your family. Now, you and your boyfriend had a very close relationship, and you did open up to him about everything that happened between your husband and your sister, the estranged relationship you got with your mama, and he has, been a rock for you. So having him there for support is pretty comforting. By the time the check came, your man had already got 3 tickets on a flight for tonight. He was able to catch some last minute tickets. Y'all didn't have time to go home. He said, don't worry about it. We'll get some clothes when we get there. Y'all end up boarding the flight. Y'all got back home. Y'all end up getting a hotel room this time because this time you came with your new boo. So you rushed to the hospital to check on grandma. And when you got there, your mama was in the room. First thing she said was, look what the cat drug in. The daughter that thinks she's too much for her mama. The daughter that thinks that she's too much for her family. Oh, wow. Look at her walking through the door thinking that she is the queen. But I am a queen. I came here to see my grandma. I did not come here for none of this. So you walked over to the side of the bed to be on your grandmama's side, ignoring everything else your childish ass mama was screaming out. So you grabbed your grandmama's hand and started to say a prayer. By the time the prayer was done, you end up hearing the hospital door open. It was your sister. Because she was like, oh, look who's back from the dead. And before you could give any response, thank God, your man ended up walking through the door with the baby. He was parking. So your mama like, oh, that's why you left your husband? Because you had you a little hanky-panky going on in Chicago? Why the fuck is y'all acting like y'all don't know what the fuck happened? Y'all about to make me get loose in this motherfucking hospital room. But again, your man, very confident. He's like, nah, I'm her man. I'm here to take care of her. I'm making sure that she good. Y'all need to leave her alone. This is not the time or the place at all. So your sister like, oh, he got some balls. He said, big ball. So he like, yeah, big balls. Go find y'all somebody to play with because this ain't the family. You smiling in the inside. Your sister bump out, well, my husband will be here soon, not my boyfriend. Oh, your mama, shady as fuck. He got a real woman now to know how to treat. Got a real woman now to know how to have kids out the ass. Her sister was showing a little bit too. So you like, you know what? I don't have time for this. You end up calling a doctor. Because what your mama and your sister did not know is that you had power of attorney over your grandma. So you went politely to ask them to have them escorted out of the room. They did go out kicking and fucking screaming. So your boyfriend comes over there to console you. He started rubbing your back. He rubs your neck. He kisses your cheek, letting you know that he is here. He is not going anywhere. Your grandma is going to be just fine. God has his eyes on her. So one thing you loved about him, he was a God-fearing man. Not even 10 minutes later, your sister comes back with your ex-husband and the police saying that you are forcing her out of her grandmama's room. So they start asking all these questions. The only thing you did while scrolling quietly is pulling out that power of attorney on PDF. Yeah, I don't want them in here. And they couldn't do shit but leave. Your ex-husband like, who is this? Because he seen him holding the baby. Oh, man, you done got so big. He went and hid, your son went and hid behind your boyfriend. He was like, that's my son. That pissed him off. Your boyfriend like, no, nigga, that's my son.
She had the last laugh. All right, y'all, that's the show. Inspiration on the way. Y'all have an amazing, blessed week. I'll be back tomorrow.
He's not Jesus Jr. or Paul Jr., but God has taken him and God has placed him in the garden. And what did he tell them to do in the garden? He said to work it. So then we see that after God places a man, after God introduces himself to this man, he gives this man identity. He gives him a job, a legal one.
There's power in the word no. At University of Phoenix, there's no application fee.
Like one you can file on your taxes. He gives you a legal job. And then he says, take care of it. What does that mean? God makes him consistent. Oh, if you want to get on a woman's nerves, be inconsistent. I believe there are ladies that are like, I'd rather you be a consistent fool than for you to be inconsistently good. Like, be one all the way. If you're going to be sorry, be consistent. If you're not going to call, be consistent. If you're going to be lame, be consistent. It's those light spurts that mess us up. God placed him in the garden, and he told him to work it and to take care of it. That means he's consistent. So listen, don't just go off his words, go off his garden. Don't just go off his body. It's all right. Go off his garden. Don't just go off how he makes you kiki. Don't just go off how he makes you laugh. And y'all are so cool, and you've known him since high school. I need you to look and notice his garden. Notice his relationship with the Lord, because unmowed gardens give rooms for snakes. And then you wonder why you're getting bit by anxiety, and you're getting bit by depression, and you're getting bit by your hair falling out, and you're getting bit by trauma. It's because you didn't first look at the condition of his garden, and you just walked over in the high grass because he was your preference. See, we need a preacher like this. We need a preacher like this where we can be informed what to look for, and then also for men, how to become. Number one, he has a garden. Number two, a man is ready when he takes responsibility. One thing my coach told me in middle school, own the fumble. Stop blaming the way they handed it to you. Stop blaming the way the QB threw it to you. Stop blaming how you got hit. Own the fumble. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll do better. You're right. That's my fault. Those should not be ancient words. Those should not be words that are foreign. A kingdom man can acknowledge and take responsibility when he's wrong. Listen, God is always going to call Adam first. Always. In the garden, the first thing he said was, Adam, where are you? He's not playing hide and seek, and Adam has found a real good hiding spot. He said, no, Adam, where are you in your mind that you thought you could choose something better than me? Where are you in your mind that you would allow your wife to be your test drive to see if once she ate the fruit, something happened? Nothing happened until Adam ate of the fruit. Because God is saying, listen, for kingdom men, everything on the side of you and under you is your responsibility. And biblical manhood is it may not be my fault, but it is my responsibility. Takes responsibility. One of the ways that you can really know that you're a man is your ability to put things away. Look at this. I want us to see this. This is so good, y'all. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. A male is a state of birth. A man is a matter of choice. And one of the ways that you can really tell if you're a man is how well do you put things off? How well do you put away blaming people? How well do you put away not sharing? That's like elementary. Matter of fact, pre-K, sharing is caring. Sharing your wealth, sharing your inheritance, sharing your income, sharing your influence, sharing your feelings, sharing your heart. How well have you put off and put away sin? Because one of the ways that you could tell how much of a man you really are is when you have put things away. What do you have in your life that comforted you since you were a boy? Do you still throw temper tantrums when you don't get your way? That's childish. Do you still give the silent treatment when something doesn't go your way? That's childish. When you get angry, do you still hit walls and kick stuff? That's childish. My 4-year-old son, we're trying to get him out of doing that. Yeah, when you're a man, I put away childish things. Next way you can identify when a man is ready, number 3, he can provide. He can provide you with clarity. He ain't never gonna be like, yeah, let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's just see, you know, how time takes its course. No, he's gonna provide you with clarity. If marriage is the goal, it's going to be clear. You're not going to be the one that has to keep on bringing up purity. You're not going to be the one that has to keep on bringing up the altar. If that is his goal, he's going to provide you with clarity. Somebody say clarity. Provide you with clarity. He's going to provide you with vision. He's going to provide you with the destination, provide you with food, shelter, and clothing. That's like basic, right? But a lot of men, unfortunately, we have been mothered to death. We have been mothered to death, so we're not looking for wife, we're looking for mama, which is why we want to live with you, which is why we want to drive your car, which is why we want you to take care of us. We have been mothered to death. All ladies watching this, watch the way you mother your sons, because that is a king in the making. That is a king in the making, and we have too many men already today walking around looking for mama. Listen, true manhood is when you get off of mama's breast and on your wife's breast. You know, it is Bible, right? The Bible says enjoy the breast of your wife. Like, just enjoy it. That's Bible. Why y'all looking at me like that? The Bible says that. Enjoy the breast of your wife. She's your young doe. Bible all day. I cannot be in daddy's wallet and on mama's breast. That's not manhood. Manhood is when I have provision and I can provide not just for myself, but for somebody else. Number 4, I know I'm walking heavy, but I just feel as though my generation needs this. Don't worry, ladies, we coming for you. My wife's going to join me. We're going to talk about drama queen. I hope you're ready for that one. Number 4, he is ready when he listens. Listen.
Asthma doesn't want you to be the cool mom.
If a wife is a helper, this means your evolution is tied to your ability to listen. God said it is not good for man to be alone. I will create him a helper suitable for him. You're going to have to be able to have a man, you're going to have to be able to be a man that can listen to the counsel of your woman, of your wife. Now listen, ladies, this means you have to get control over your emotions so that when you speak, you're able to speak out of help versus speaking out of hurt. What is the condition of your mouth? Because I know you're like, yeah, you know, I agree with that. Okay, is your mouth have the condition to help him? Because his evolution process is tied to your words. Do you just go off? You know, the Bible says it's better for him to be on the roof than in the house with a quarrelsome wife. I'm thinking like, God, you're not considering the seasons. It could be winter. It could be the summertime, 110 degrees. It is better for you sitting outside on your roof with this towel burning your backside than for you to be in the house with a quarrelsome wife. What is the condition of your mouth, ma'am? Because if you want him to listen, your mouth has to be able to spew forth evolution. And I can't give evolution if I'm still in destruction. This is so good, y'all. The well-being and welfare of a man is tied to whoever has access to his ear, because we are all a byproduct of the level of teaching we sit under. And I think the problem with our generation is we have too many of the wrong professors in our ears. Number 5, a man is ready when he wars for self-control. Self-control, self-control. It's not cute that when he gets angry, he punches stuff. That could be your face one day. That doesn't mean that he's so manly. He's such a protector. Because, you know, back in the day, I don't really think it's there anymore. But back in the day, ladies used to like bad boys. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You used to like bad boys? And you thought that him having anger, being able to fight, was protection because daddy didn't protect you? No, that shows a lack of control. That shows a misuse of anger. And be careful, because anger is one letter short of danger. Self-control. And the last one, point number 5, a man is ready when he has been in the refiner's fire. And I think what I want us to understand is that we have to allow God to make him. And that's okay. I don't know why. We view it as, I'm ready, they should be ready. God has to build him. Before Eve ever came along on the scene, Adam had time with God. Like, Adam knew God so much so that after the fall of man, Adam was able to identify God's sound walking through the garden. He didn't mistake it for an elephant. He didn't mistake it for a giraffe. He was so close to God where he knew the rhythm and the tempo of God's walk. He was close with God. And I think we have to allow space for God to make him. See, what happens is we have this dude, right, that comes in our life, and God has all of these ingredients because he's going to make him. And so God's like, all right, I'm going to make you, bro. I got to pour grace on the inside of you. I got to pour a vision on the inside of you. And a lot of us, you're coming when this man is just in the flower phase. And you wonder why your relationship keeps getting messy. It's because he's not done yet. And then some of us come when a man is in the butter phase. He's not done yet. Allow God to put it together. And God's trying to give him salt. He's trying to give him provision. He's trying to give him gentleness. He's trying to give him self-control. This is not ready yet. This is not ready yet, but just because you see the potential of what this could become doesn't mean give into it, because he still has to submit to being cooked. He still has to commit to being baked. God has so many things that he wants to pour on the inside of men. There's so many principles that he wants to pour on the inside of men, and there are a lot of things that come in our life that we thought this was a good thing, and God says, no, I gotta break this. I gotta break this because of what I'm making you. And you come into the life of this man, and you've been thinking, okay, he's ready. Okay, it's time. This is a mess right now. This is a mess, but you have to allow God to stir him. You have to allow God to make him. Have to allow God to build him because of what he's going to be. And then after I'm stirring him, and I have to crush this because there's still some pride. And I have to crush this because there's still some jealousy. And I have to crush this because there's still some abandonment issues. Allow me to stir my word in him. Allow me to stir purpose in him. Allow me to stir vision in him before you ever try to glean from him. And then God has to put this man in the fire, because in the fire, that's when things rise. I know it's messy up here, but God uses mess to send messengers. God uses mess to introduce us to the Messiah. God puts him in the fire because fire causes for things to rise. That fire calls for that king to rise. That fire calls for that prayer life to rise. That fire calls for that worship to rise. That fire calls for that commitment to rise. If he's not in the fire, it won't rise. And what brothers we have to do is to make sure we don't eat stuff too soon. We don't eat stuff too soon. Allow God to build you. Allow him to mold you. Allow him to shape you. Forget what culture's saying. Culture is not concerned about the things of the Lord. We have to be kingdom men. Well, I'm submitting to the process. I'm submitting to the process. And we have to be ladies that just because you see the potential doesn't mean join the process. Allow God to make him in the garden. Allow God to perform surgery, because it is not your job. It is not your job or your responsibility to fix a broken man, because you are not called to engage in rescue mission or missionary dating or missionary marriage. So God, would you give us understanding? Would you give us an outlook to understand that you have built us, you have wired us, and we need more kingdom men in the earth. Our churches need it. Our homes need it. Our sons need it. Our daughters need it. The world needs more kingdom men. And would you condition us to stay in the process? Be our chef. It doesn't matter how messy it gets. It doesn't matter the things that you have to break. Stir in me the word, stir in me passion, stir in me hope, stir in me clarity, so that eventually you could put me in a fire, so that I could be served to the world. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.